Hello everyone, welcome back to the Somm Corner. Once again, my name's David with the Keye Team, your resident certified sommelier and realtor. This month we're going to talk about a beautiful red wine. It's a classic. One I haven't talked about or written about in the past, so that's part of why I picked it up this go round. With it being so warm outside, all I can think about is grilling and smoking meats. So this wine pairs wonderfully with that. This month we're talking about a Zinfandel. It is the Seghesio Zinfandel. And this has been around since 1895. So they've been obviously know what they're doing. Lots of people make more jammy, overripe style Zinfandels, but Seghesio does not. They're mostly centered around Sonoma Coast, so their fruit isn't nearly as ripe as some of the areas like Dry Creek or Paso Robles. I wanted to write about this one, as I mentioned, hot weather, nice barbecue, but also because it's very food friendly in general, has a lot of different fruits in it. This is like a mixed berry pie of wine. You've got red fruit, black fruit, and some blue fruit too. Blackberry, cherry, raspberry, strawberry, boysenberry, even blueberry. So it's really like a pie with all the different berries in there. One cool thing about Zinfandel, and that is changing a little bit with global warming, but the bunches, they are unevenly ripened. So you'll usually get a little tartness with a little ripeness, and it creates a really fun dynamic with the way that the grapes, ripen through the season, because not all of them will get fully ripe, but they're still used. So we're gonna just run through a quick tasting note here. Try and keep this around 5 minutes. I know they say that every time, but let's see if we can actually pull it off this time. I've got 3 minutes to go. So the wine is here. It is a beautiful ruby color with kind of a purple rim, darker than magenta. So I definitely do like the call of purple there. It is a clear red wine. As far as rim variation, there's not a lot. Zinfandel is a higher alcohol wine, so there is a little bit of staining on that as a result. On the nose, no evidence of faults on this, so it is a nice clean wine for you, and it does have a good medium to medium plus aromatic intensity, so it kind of punches out of the glass a little bit. Some nice florals, definitely getting all those fruits I mentioned, lots of blackberry, lots of cherry, and boysenberry syrup comes to mind. I worked at IHOP in a former life, so I will always remember the smell of a boysenberry syrup as a result, and that's what this makes me think of. The fruit condition on this is very nice and ripe, but there is a little undertone of that underripe, like I mentioned. It's just kind of a tartness, almost like a sour cherry mixed in with that nice bright cherry. Non-fruits, I'm getting some black pepper right off the bat, as well as some vanilla and baking spice. That's evident of the oak. The black pepper is a little bit more evidentiary of the Zinfandel itself. I usually get a little white pepper and black pepper, and then a lot of fruit with the Zinfandel. If this was a Primitivo, which is genetically identical, but based out of Europe and Italy, you get a little bit more herbs and more herbal non-fruit characters on those ones. They're a little lighter too. Their alcohol is not going to be as high because it's a little cooler climate. But on the earth, let's see. Not really getting a ton of earth. Once again, very fruit forward wine on this one, and the mineral as well. I did mention the presence of some vanilla and allspice, so that's the new oak being used. I haven't taken a sip yet, so let's move on to the palate. Very nice, yeah. Very nice and fruity. That is a nice dry red wine. The acidity is about a medium. The alcohol is medium plus, medium high. Right off the bat, the body is more of a fuller body, even though it has a nice lighter color. It's nice and round on the palate. For tannins, not a lot of tannins on this. Some of the jammier ones will get some tannins. I've got just a little bit of a tingle on my upper gums there. So I'd say this is a medium tannin wine. And it is a nice round textured wine as well. For the fruit, it is still pretty ripe on the palate. Very black fruit driven. Blackberry, black cassis, maybe, no, not currant, but definitely some boysenberry in there, as well as some nice red cherry and strawberry, brambly fruits, right? So anything that grows on one of those vines, I'm getting a hint of that. Not really getting any earth on the palate. The non-fruit, I'm getting a nice white pepper, more on the palate, less black pepper, which I think is a good sign. Syrah, for example, has a lot of black pepper on the palate and the nose, so I like when I get a little bit of both. Oak, you do get a little bit of vanilla and spice on here, and the length of finish is pretty good. It's still going. I've got a little bit of flavors in there, and I still feel the tingling from the tannins and the white pepper. As a complexity, I'd say it's a medium to medium plus. You know, not an overly complex wine. It's meant to be drank easily with food, so it doesn't have to be over the top complex. And it is a fruit forward wine, so it's not going to have a lot of those tertiary non-fruit characters. Otherwise, this is a nice quick video. I didn't keep it under 5 minutes. We're gonna hit 6, but I do really hope that you're enjoying these videos. If you're gonna grab a bottle of this Seghesio Zinfandel, Seghesio, I said that wrong. Definitely sit down around the fire and enjoy some smoked meats or some barbecue. It's gonna be delicious. Anyway, have yourself a great July, and we'll see you next time.